Friends, today we're going to make Waalache Birade or Kadwe Waalache Usad, which is very favorite of every Maharashtrian, and it's made on special occasions. And we start with the Kadwe Waal, which are like a pulse that you can see. You need to soak them overnight, actually more than a night, I would say about 24 hours sometimes. And then after that you have to let them sprout. So once the sprout come, they're still with the shells, and you have to let it sit around in the hot water again or warm water, and make sure the shells are a little bit loosened, and then you have to manually remove the shells. And then the final product after this pulse, it will look like this. कडवे वालाला मोड काढून असे घ्यायचे आपण छान. Okay, so this is how the process is, and it's a little bit tedious process, but the taste is amazing. So for the Waalache Birade, we start with, I'm heating up about 1 tablespoon of oil in one kadhai or a pan, and I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of rai. Let the oil be hot, and then after that you add the rai and the jeera or the cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon each. And let it splutter. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of hing to it. And this is my in-laws side recipe, which my mother-in-law normally makes, and my son loves this one. And at my mother's place, they make it a little bit differently. We don't add onion and dry coconut into this. So there are 2 versions. So I'm going to show you one version that I normally make, and I do make the other one, but that's more for puja version, where I don't use the mustard seeds are nicely spluttering. And I'm going to add 2 vertically slit chillies, green chillies, and also curry leaves or curry patta. And I'm going to add now 1 finely chopped, I've taken about a big size onion, finely chopped. I'm going to add that and saute the onion till it becomes nice pink in color. Maybe about 5 minutes or so. So now our onions are kind of softened, that you can see. I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of haldi powder or turmeric, and I've taken about 3 teaspoons of red chili powder, which I'm going to add now. Now next step I'm going to add our Kadwe Waal, which have been soaked and sprouted. Actually at my Aji's place back in India, Girgaon Madhe, we used to have, everybody was given 1 shell. If you want to eat Waalache, so everybody had to take the shells off, and that's how the things used to get done in India, Girgaon, because we had a joint family and we had lots of family members, and for one person to shell these out, it's like a day's task basically. So Aji used to always say, if you all want to eat, make sure that you take your share, how much ever you want, and try to de-shell the things first, and that's how you will get to eat Waalache Usad. But it is amazingly flavorful. Waalache Birade is like amazing. So I'm adding that now. Saute for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to add about a cup of water to this and let it cook. If you feel it takes a little longer to cook this kadwe waal, so you can try to use a pressure pan also. Just put it on the pressure, and just before it whistles you can switch it off and do the rest of the process after that. So I'm going to add the water and let it cook now. So I've added the water now, and I'm going to cover it and let it simmer and let it cook. I'm sure it takes more than at least 15-20 minutes, more than that. So gauge it accordingly. Okay, so I'm going to cover the pan now. As I told you, if your wal are freshly shelled out right away, if you're going to make it, it won't take that long to cook. So it would get cooked in maybe 15-20 minutes. But you can always store them in the refrigerator, and make sure you always cover them in water when you're keeping in refrigerator. So you can make maybe Waalache Khichdi or wal bhat, or maybe different type of birda also. So I like doing it that way. So usually when I'm soak wal, I keep it for 3 different things: Maharashtrian paddhat, Sasarchi paddhat, and wal bhat, which is my favorite. And also right now I had kept it in the refrigerator. That's why I had to cook little extra 10-15 minutes more. And I'm going to add the salt. I would say about 1.5 teaspoonful. And I'm adding 2 tablespoons of bhatska khobra or grated coconut, which is desiccated coconut, and I have toasted it. As I told you, I always keep it in my pantry, toasted. And give it a stir. If you feel the water is a little less, you can always add a little bit extra water. But it should not be too watery either. And now that our wal are cooked like this, so now you can add the jaggery or gur. At least about 1 tablespoon, I would say. 2 खडे घालते मी साधारण हे एवढ्या आकाराचे असे. And let it dissolve now. And at the end I'm going to add a couple of amsul, which is for the ambatpana, solar or kokum you might call. Especially at my Aji's place, any festive season, Waalache Birade has to be there. Ganapati or Diwali also. It's one of the auspicious occasions. Aji would always make it. Even my Ai. And I'm going to garnish with the chopped green coriander, and our Waalache or Birade is ready to be served. If you feel it's a little bit less watery, you can add a little bit more. That's it. Little simmer, let the jaggery melt completely. Now our Waalache Birade is ready to be served. The recipe is in the description box below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Heart to Palate.